funny. One time I went out for my missus' birthday about a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We went out to some place in West End, and she had her friends. All of her friends like came out, and there's a married couple.
Yeah.
So we are on the dance floor, and like the one of the husband's dancing. He's like really into his dancing.
Fair enough.
And then the wife is kind of standing near him, but not directly next to him. So he's on the dance floor.
So he's doing his thing.
Yeah, doing his thing.
Fair enough.
And then there's other girls around dancing.
Yeah, see, you can have fun with other people.
Hold on, dancing. And then this girl in front of the husband, like literally pounces on him, like jumps up on him, and he's like hands in the air.
Hands
like,
are here.
Whoa.
Hands are here.
And his wife is a little girl, but she's like really feisty.
Oh shit!
And she kicks off like, grabs the girl. And the girl's like, oh shit! No, she's like, who the fuck are you? Like trying to fight her.
Ring on it.
Yeah, she's not realizing the situation. Like I don't think she realized.
Oh, to be fair, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I hit on this girl and she goes, "Actually, I'm engaged."
Yeah.
And this is at uni.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
Yeah, so I don't think she realized that's his wife. So she's like, "Who's this girl grabbing me?" Trying to fight back. So like this girl's trying to go. She's trying to go for the wife. So I grabbed the girl, like sort of thing, holding her back. The shit's all kicking off. Her friends are trying to jump in. And like,
oh no,
Yeah.
that's so bad. I had a little misunderstanding when I was at uni. I was like my first couple of weeks, and I was at the bar, like the uni bar. So fair play. You assume everyone's under the age of 20, right? And there's like it's 22-year-olds there, and for some reason they were. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." I went over and I hit on her. I was like, "Hi, sorry, you're absolutely stunning. Could I get your number?" Because I'm quite forward. And
smooth.
yeah, well, just cut the shit. I ain't got all day. I've got like 4 more girls on the list. In my imagination, and actually,
put
it's a
your
dead
number
bar.
in my phone.
Yeah, it's like, look, honey,
I might call you later.
Make sure there's 11 in there. Don't fuck me over. I've been here before. Anyway, so this girl goes, actually, I'm married. And I'm like, bullshit. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to try better. I wasn't putting it on her at that point. I was like, if she says she's married, I genuinely was just questioning the fact that a young woman like that would be married. And I was like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Really? And then I turn around and her husband's like holding his ring finger up like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, no fucking way. To him as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, you two come here. Why? Come on. Why are you two?
Why would you do such a
Why
thing?
would you get married? And he goes, well, you just hit on her for a reason. And I was like, all right, fair play. So I bought them both a drink and apologized. But I think that, because
it sounds like they were good
I was
sports
embarrassed.
about
Hey, it was lovely.
Yeah.
And I wasn't being I think that if a guy hits on your girlfriend but has the decency to fuck off, or if you're clearly with her and he's hitting on her, then he needs he's a sleazy little shit and he needs to fuck
a
off.
complete violation.
Can't stand that. Yeah, because it's disrespectful not to you but to her.
Yeah.
Because she's clearly sitting there saying like this is the guy I'm with who I
I think
love.
of a disrespect to you. He's doing it in your face.
Yeah,
like,
but he is, and so he's disrespecting you, but he's also really
Yeah.
disrespecting her, and I think that's more important. Because it's like, I feel
if I'm not around and somebody hits on my girl, there's not obviously first there was nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
She's an attractive girl.
she is.
Yeah, so
She's a lovely
there's-
lady.
Yeah, there's nothing I can really do about it. So yeah, whatever. But like if I'm standing right there and you see the situation and you're like still trying to do that,
That's
then
ego on him.
Yeah,
mate.
then-
I don't understand that
yeah.
level of ego. I mean,
I
don't
think
want,
me and you need like 5 minutes outside. So
yeah,
like-
exactly. No, I mean, and the rest. Come on, let's,
Yeah.
I'll cheat. I'll be like, oh, goody, I'm coming. Sorry, love, I'm going to ruin the night. Out you go. But no, it's just like. But then again, is it worth having a fight? Because you're not going to get back in. It's going to ruin everyone's night just because this dick,
True.
and then, or just because this dickhead's got an ego on him. And it again goes back to sort of egos like Trump's and like. But you get them in every club. You get that guy who's maybe a bit. Who just
Part of the reason I actually don't I don't actually like going to clubbing with my missus. It's like you feel like you have to be on guard.
it's exhausting.
I think you kind of feel that way, and you feel like, oh.
I mean, I know
if
that you're
go-
not a
if I
possessive
go-
guy either.
I'm not obsessive at all, but like
No.
if you like, go to the toilet, I don't want no guy coming up to her like that.
Yeah.
Just standing there by herself, like it's a bit awkward.
But then again, though, if I was single,
I prefer-
and there was a
I
girl standing by
prefer- I
herself,
prefer
I
to
probably
go
would
out-
want to approach her before I approach anyone from
Yeah.
the gaggles because it's not easy target, but it's because you're more likely to be able to actually say something to them without embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do embarrass yourself, like, ever so sorry, and walk away,
Yeah.
because that's okay.
Yeah.
But again, you got to be just. I mean, I don't understand like people who don't hear a girl say, "I'm sorry, I'm with someone." If they're saying "I'm with someone" and you keep going, you're a cunt, and she's not going to come home.
Some people don't mind
with
though.
you.
Some people don't care. Like they're like, I don't care if you're with somebody. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get in there.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I think
For me, like
That's
once you
creepy.
said that to me, I'm like, okay, though. I'm not going to really bother with the situation. But some people don't care.
That's just weird. Like, because I mean, who wants to be in a 3-way anyway? Well, quite a lot of people. But like, who wants to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like, have sex with this girl, and then I'm never gonna. Okay, either I'm never. Well, okay, that's a one-night stand described perfectly. I just think it's
a lot of guys.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I've actually said
No
with my boyfriend once, and I didn't mean it.
But some girls like I think like men get the bad reputation for cheating.
Oh, girls do the same thing, absolutely.
But girls are quite bad as well because I've had girls come up to me and then like talking, exchange numbers, and then like. You'd be like messaging each other, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend's doing what I'm like."
Why the fuck would you? Yeah.
Why did you come up to me like?
Yeah. Why would you give me your number?
Yeah.
And like in that context, I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's a work friend and you're like at a bar, like, oh hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages.
Why would you come up to me in a club? Like,
yeah, that's weird. I think that's because they want attention. Or I mean, again though, I mean, I like.
But for me, I don't really.
Well, I wouldn't.
Once you told me something, I'm like, okay, I'm not wasting no more time.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, because like, I'm not really into like I'm gonna try to get in there. But also, if it happened like without me knowing, that's like.
If you had sex with somebody they didn't tell you that, then it goes back to what we were saying about honesty and being truthful. And I think though that automatically you're in on the back foot anyway, no matter what position you're actually in. Because what if you end up liking them actually? Because I mean, like I've met girls who I thought were amazing.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, they've chosen somebody else.
Yeah.
And these are people who were not necessarily going to let go of that for whatever reason.
For me, it shows like the quality of a person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like.
You got to respect them.
I definitely wouldn't want to go out with somebody that cheated on their partner to get with me. Like,
it does depend on what stage in their relationship they're in.
Doesn't matter what stage.
I don't know, man.
For me, I wouldn't want to. I would like obviously hook up with them.
If they're in the process of a divorce but they're still married and they're
that's
divorced,
different though. That's different. You actually
if they're in that
you actually separated. True. If you're in that process of divorce, but if you're like fully living with each other, full on couple,
oh yeah, then that's different.
And he's like at work and you're trying to get with other people, or he's somewhere else and you're like when he's not. Every time he's not around, you're trying to get with other people, and I'm like,
then you've got a broken marriage anyway, and you need to sort that out first. I mean, adult about it. Like,
for me, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's the one for me. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'd be like, it's like, hang about. If she's doing that to him, then what's saying when I get a proper job? Like if I'm working nights and stuff, where's she gonna go?
Exactly.
You'd be perpetually paranoid. I think
she'll do that to him. She's gonna do that to you.
Yeah, and it's gonna lead to. I wouldn't. This is someone who she stood at an altar with and said, "No, I do."
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like. I wouldn't find that appealing for me.
No.
I would, if I was to do anything like that, I would only be in it for one thing, and then once I got that, I'd be like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really be.
Men, they just want sex. Yeah. No, we don't. We want compassion, we want love, we want or durability for the most part, and we just want somebody who's got a personality that matches with us.
No, for me, that's only true for the right person.
Yeah. So well, yeah. I mean, but that's what I would be looking for every time I've been dating. It's like every time I go on a date, I'm like, well, potentially. I mean, okay, firstly. I think we talked about this before, but like you get all dressed up, it's kind of like it actually runs in parallel with getting a job offer.
Yeah.
So a date is basically a job interview.
Yeah.
And you kind of go out and you're like, and he's like, let's see if I like them and let's see if they like me.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable, at least comfortable with this person or comfortable with the job, then you tend to want to go back there and you tend to think, okay, well the situation's right for me.
Yeah.
And I'm happy here, so I'm going to maybe see how this goes. But, and also if they're particularly brilliant, like, I don't know, if you get like a 50 grand job or, or not even that, but if like, I mean, I'm not comparing women to jobs directly, but it's a similar sort of process with dating. And, but yeah, I mean, like, for example, when I met my current girlfriend, I was dating somebody else, but, it was only like sort of second, third-ish date and, like nothing serious was happening. And I met the girl I'm with now and she just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I found that actually what I want to do is I want to talk to this person more and more.
Yeah.
And I want to get to know her better. And the other person faded into obscurity in the meantime. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's still a lovely person. I don't have anything bad. But, I mean, that's what it is. But equally, if I had been in a committed relationship with the first person, then I wouldn't have been going on that date with the second person,
But, like, every relationship you've gone into or every date you've gone into, you like, oh, this is about a potential partner.
Well, I mean, I was engaged to one.
How you view it?
I was engaged to that one that I split up with this time. I wasn't engaged, but I asked her if she'd marry me and she said yes.
Yeah.
It was a very romantic moment on top of the mountain. And, and as I've discussed multiple times, probably because I talk about nothing fucking else. Yeah, I mean, that really hurt when we had to break up because she was lying to me. So I'm going to get into a thought spiral. What was the question again?
No, just like I was asking.
Yeah,
pretty much,
I would say that. Yeah,
every
one of them wanted to marry me, but she wanted me to convert to Islam
Yeah.
and stay in Indonesia for 7 years, which is something I wasn't willing to do. And I think that again, it was that 50-50 parallel. You have to have give and take. You have to have equality. And I didn't feel ultimately that looking forward into the future, no matter how much it broke my heart to say or admit to, if you can't know 100% that you're going to have that kind of balance, even if it's not necessarily always balanced. I mean, it's the same as a boat. You kind of want to be driving a boat that doesn't wobble around all the time. You'd want, and when oh god, this is gonna be a fucking pathetic metaphor. When the oceans get rough, when the oceans get rough. This is the ASMR part, ladies. It's not just aimed at ladies and gentlemen. If you're feeling nice and cozy, when the oceans get rough in a relationship. Oh god, I hate those. Have you seen? Sorry, going off point right now. And unapologetically so. Like those. Who the fuck is writing this stuff? I've been on Twitter for the last month, so the last 2 weeks, looking over. One of the criteria I have is the word stab in my tweet deck, right? You would not believe the amount of shit that people write about being stabbed in the heart and stabbed in the back. It's like, if you're going to stab me, if you're going to hurt me, stab me in the heart instead of the back. Goodbye, Matthew. # don't need a man.
So where is this?
Oh, it's on Twitter, mate. I mean, if you type stabbing and you forget to put any filters on it, yeah, I know, right? Because I'm looking for actual stabbings. I'm looking for sort of, because I'm a journalist. Of course, I'm fucking looking. Yeah, if it bleeds, it bleeds.
It's not the
No. This isn't just like my little side hobby where it's like, oh, goody, more
You're
blood.
into stabbing porn.
Blood on the streets. Yes.
Stabbing porn.
No,
wet fetish.
That's weird. Yeah, like knife play, that kind of shit. No, I mean there are websites for that kind of stuff, man. I don't need to search Twitter for that. Not that I would. Anyway, no, but what was it? Yeah, it's just like, yeah, oh god, but why do people feel the need to broadcast this kind of shit? He said with a podcast, but it's like you can talk about stuff, but it's like, and I'm completely 100% in favor of writing whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But I've never ever liked the idea of posting my personal shit on Facebook. The most you're gonna get is maybe a picture of a girl. I mean, I only just posted one of me and my girlfriend.
I saw.
We've been together for 3 months.
Yeah, I saw.
And I only just put that up because I'm like, well, does everyone need to know my shit? And let's be honest.
I don't agree with posting every single thing you do on social media.
Yeah,
I
think we've discussed something about this before.
I think I was with my missus for quite some time before I even put that online. I throw up a picture every now and again. I actually went through and actually removed it from my Instagram at the moment.
Why?
Just because we're doing this now, and I just
So you want to focus on this project more?
Not that I want to focus on. I just want to keep that private section of it private. She's still on my Facebook, but my Instagram account is open. So
fair enough. Yeah.
I don't want people kind of prying into what I do with my missus.
And also, ID stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks to it. We'll make a different account. Fuck it. We'll just do a different account. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So I kind of remove a bunch of personal stuff now for it. But,
I haven't. Because we're not going to get that famous. Let's be honest. We're going to have 7 people listening.
Well, just in general. Just in general, keep that type of stuff private. I don't agree broadcasting everything I do online.
Yeah, I think that there's this girl who my ex-girlfriend was friends with, and she would write, it's those cryptic bullshit messages that just make you look immature no matter how old you are.
What do you think about subliminal messages? People used to do
no, they still do.
Yeah.
It's, what the fuck is wrong with people? Just say what, it goes back to the whole thing we were saying before. Say what you fucking think.
I don't like those subliminal messages. I had people go oh, if I am no longer if I'm kind of shying away from you or no longer messaging you anymore, it's because you're bad for business and I no longer like you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking,
oh, well, you got about, and all of a sudden, and
now you're thinking oh, when's the last time I spoke to this person?
Yeah, exactly. It's actually, hang on, why do I want to speak to this person now? It's I didn't realise friendship was conditional. You can't.
And I'm when's the last time I spoke to this person? It's been a month. Oh, am I? Is this a shot at me?
Yeah, and
what did
the
I
thing
do
is,
to you?
yeah, but the point is, they want you to do that so that you then give them attention. Yeah. It's you don't deserve the attention. If you want attention, say, hey, I'm bored, I'm lonely. I'm bored, what you up to?
Yeah.
And if I don't reply to you, it's because I'm not bored or I'm doing something else. But you know what? I'll fucking invite you. If you sit there saying oh, sometimes the people you care about seeing the most are also the people who don't always ask you. Mm-hmm. That was the fourth wall right there, right? Anyway, so but it's like, well, man, no one's gonna ask you if you post shit like that. Twat.
Yeah, I used to hate those. I don't really read people's on Facebook.
Oh, I delete them immediately. As soon as I read that shit, gone. Bye.
I don't have time to be reading it really, but yeah. I used to hate that. I was like, oh.
It's always the girls who used to get pregnant first, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, hold on, are you taking a shot at me? Did I do something to you? Like,
I don't get it.
I used to
And it's
hate
when
that.
and blokes do it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not girls
Both
only.
like men,
Everyone
women
does
do
it.
it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
take shots
not
at
everyone, just idiots.
Yeah.
And if you are one of those idiots,
Fuck you.
yeah, but also please continue listening. We promise we won't pick on you. It's okay to be emotional, but for God's sake, say what you think.
But yeah, it's interesting though with like some people like let the whole entire relationship play out online.
Yeah, I don't like that at
Yeah,
all.
you see when they get together, you see when they fight, and you see when they break up.
It's like that Kingsman line. It's like, you know, a gentleman's name should only be in the paper twice: when he's born and when he dies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not true because you should be in the paper as much as you can.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. You know, for God's sake, we need somebody to write about.
If anybody's reading papers anymore, but shot fired.
It's all right. I'm working online now. Fuck it.
Good.
And you can find me. It's not like
My manager had a stupid joke one time. He's like, oh, he asked somebody for a newspaper,
yeah.
and the guy goes, I ain't got a newspaper, I've got a tablet. So I'm like, oh, can I use your tablet? Then I gave it back to him. I gave him back his Smash iPad because I used it to smash a fly with.
Oh god,
Yeah.
such a dad joke. Yeah. Oh, you can't beat dad jokes, can you? I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like when a dad comes out with a dad joke, you're like, partly out of respect.
Yeah.
You got to give him a bit of love for that. Like, yeah. It's all right. Someone's had three whole London prides.
Oh, there's no more ale.
You know, like tell.
Yeah.
But no, I think with the I don't know. I can't remember what I was saying.
So yeah, we're talking about how people like to play the whole like relationship out online.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's I don't know. I find it a bit awkward. I mean, don't get me wrong though. It's useful. If you're trying to find out, I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about trying to find out if they got a boyfriend or not.
Yeah.
If they don't say it online, how the fuck should I know that this guy who barely ever mentions there?
Some people, it's weird. I think like
It's almost vindictive when
We're in
when
the
some people
era
do it, though.
we're in the era of social media babies. I like to call them because essentially like
It's quite.
they think like the social media is real life. And I've seen people like, oh, he doesn't post me, that means he doesn't like me, and like
What?
he doesn't like my pictures, like stuff like that.
I randomly
Like some people
everyone.
get into arguments with like people they're dating just because like, oh, they're like, you never post me.
Oh
You-
my God.
It's like what?
But that's just an extra layer of
Yeah.
anxiety that
Yeah,
doesn't
this-
need to be
yeah,
there.
It's just a complete like bullshit. Like that's not the real world.
Yeah, it's like, and also like if you're monitoring your girlfriend or boyfriend, because I've found in the past, like I think every relationship comes to that point where you start to get insecure.
Yeah.
Not everyone. I mean, obviously there are those that don't. But when I've been feeling insecure in the past, and it happens to everybody, but I get particularly insecure, especially with with the crazy ones, and when things are getting crazy. So I found that when I went on social media, even though I wasn't actually looking for them, even though I didn't want to know anything, even though I was just kind of trying to just pass some time because I didn't know where they were. Or whatever. I mean, not saying that you have to know. I have to know where my girlfriend is at all times. I'm assuming the hospital. If she's at tennis, great. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I care as long as she's safe. But that's the point, though. I mean, there are those nights when your partner doesn't come home and they don't tell you why, and you freak out. And I think that that's kind of one of those situations where social media adds an extra layer of anxiety because you can then, if you use the track, one of the things I've done.
When you say it doesn't come home, it means like they're gone out somewhere. Like, not
As in, like,
not
they said
gone
they'd be home
missing.
at 12 and they don't come back, and it's 3 a.m, you don't know where they are.
Okay.
Yeah, that, she blatantly cheated on me. Blatantly. Like coming back in my fucking
Maybe you
flat
should be
the
a
next
bit
day,
concerned.
bitch. But yeah, no, like she came back
going
with
to the
3 packed
shop.
bags and walked straight past me, fucking cow.
It's like
And
8 o'clock in or whatever. Like I'm just going to Tesco.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
3 in
oh
the
hell no,
morning.
my dad did this with some cigarettes. I'm coming with you. Like, sorry,
Came back 3 in the morning. Oh, Tesco. There's a queue in Tesco at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Yeah. I was just out with the girls. Yeah, I know, but which ambulance do I need to go to ring? I'm so scared and so worried. No, I mean, like you care because you're like, and the worst part is for me, I think when situations like that arise, it ain't you. I still feel responsible.
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember when this girl, one of my ex-girlfriends, ended up staying the night at this guy's house, blatantly cheated on me. I should have dumped her, but I believed her bullshit because I was stupid and in love. But like, I wasn't worried about. I mean, at first, I was a bit upset about the idea that she was cheating on me. But actually, what if the one that really scared me is what if she was in a ditch somewhere?
Yeah.
What if she was hurt? What if, this guy had drugged her and raped her? What if this, because I didn't know who the fuck he was. And I didn't know who she was even hanging out with.
Did she ever admit to cheating on you?
No, and it's something that still bothers me 9 years later.
So how do you know she actually cheated on you?
It was pretty obvious. There was a lot of rumours going around that she did as well. And also, she was pretty good at lying. And also that was when she started acting really suspicious and started going through my phone and stuff. And when she started going crazy about any woman that I met or talked to. So in other words, she knew that it was pretty. I mean, people change their behaviour when they cheat on you.
Yeah, I heard that's kind of a result of it. Sometime where people cheat on their partner, then they start suspecting their partner of cheating on them.
Well, they want them desperately to also.
Or
be
they
dirty.
they want that to justify their behaviour. So,
yeah. And then they criminalise you. But the thing is, though, if you're not the one who's been cheated on, you're already dealing with that fact that you feel insecure to start with, and then they push you into, and it has that kind of behaviour, as someone who's been through it, to be honest with you, both sides, I did cheat on one of my girlfriends once, but I dumped her immediately the next day.
How did you feel when you cheated?
Dirty as fuck.
You feel guilty or?
Well, I mean, in that situation, this is the one who wanted me to convert to Islam, and I'd been thinking about that a lot.
One in Malaysia?
In Indonesia. And the thing is, though, that I was thinking about it a lot because we'd gone on this big weekend away, me and the lads, and we'd been riding through the night, and it was sort of 72 hours on the motorbike. Yeah. And obviously in that time, I've got a lot of thinking time. And I was thinking about the practicalities of the relationship that I was in with this girl, about the fact that, for example, her family would never accept me because I was white and because I wasn't Muslim, and the sacrifices that I would have to make against sort of how, and also what I wanted from my time out there. And and in the meantime, there was this British girl who'd come along, and I'd been showing her the ropes, and she wasn't the best person I've ever met by a long shot. But the fact is that she had a British sense of humour, which I'd missed because I was homesick. I'd been there for 7 months. Yeah. And it's the subtleties that you miss about, people who share your culture. Yeah. And so I was helping her out. I was I have a hero complex as well. So, and then these all sound like excuses. The bottom line is I was a dirty cunt who had sex with the girl who I didn't really want to have sex with. And I do regret it. I still regret it 5 years later. I was open with my girlfriend about it. And
you came clean?
Absolutely. Because I dumped her. No, because I dumped her because I was going to dump her anyway, basically. The next day I was meeting her. We were going to sit down, we have a talk, and she cried her eyes out, and I felt terrible. But 2 weeks later, I realised, I was a bit well, I really like this girl.
I find that interesting when men come clean. What kind of prompted you to do that?
Really? Because, I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life, potentially, or any longer than I have to, with someone who I'm feeling that shame and that guilt.
Because they say, technically, if you do find yourself in that situation, you shouldn't come clean because essentially, reason why is you're sort of alleviating your guilt and kind of making yourself feel better.
I was not.
While the other person feels terrible.
No, I think because the thing is that I broke up with her, and then before we got back together, which again in retrospect wasn't the best move ever, but whatever. I mean, it was a rocky relationship from that point onward anyway.
I don't think it can
ever. Actually, I think it would have been a rocky relationship from the start anyway.
I don't think it can ever be the same again.
No, absolutely wasn't.
Once you take away that level of trust,
absolutely. And it was on me to break that.
You both can't look at each other the same way. You could try and make up for it.
And I'm prepared. You're in a position of guilt.
Yeah, I think whoever cheats is always trying to make up for it.
If they're a good person about it.
And I feel like the other person is always suspicious.
Yeah, and also I think the other person always feels insecure, and also they're not worth something. Yeah. I think that's hard because I think for me, when I was cheated on, or let's say that I was cheated on. Yeah. And that's the other thing is I still feel insecure about that, and I think that also drove a lot of my own insecurities that I then carried on for years. Yeah. I also think that. So that's why it was important to me before I got back with her to give her all the facts. Yeah. To sit down with her and say, look, I really love you, but I've got a huge problem with this whole becoming a Muslim thing because I'm not Muslim.